Hello, I'm Sosa. Thank you for joining me at myKEEtv, Caribbean Talent Network. We are honored here today to be at the House of Nijel Art in Los Angeles, meeting with world-renowned artist, author, humanitarian, and martial art expert. He's a man of many talents. We are going to get to know him.
This is Emperor Haile Selassie of Ethiopia. I really like this piece because of the detail. I had to research each of these medallions and make sure I reproduced it accurately. So I really like this piece. This is Beyonce from one of her DVDs, one of her songs, Sweet Dreams, I believe is the title. And she's wearing an armor by Mugler, one of the French designers, and it's pretty cool. We don't honor our scholars and our heroes and heroines enough. So nobody on the planet was ever going to do a statue of Runoko Rashidi. I know that for a fact. They're going to wait until he's long gone and then say, oh yeah, he was a great scholar. But I know that this needs to be done now.
So Nijel, you are a man of many hats, and you're an author, you're a teacher, a sculptor, stuntman, just to name a few. So you came here from in the 1960s from England to New Jersey. Tell us about that transition.
My family was there in England doing their studies. My mom was doing nursing and my dad was studying, and that's where they met, and that's where I was born. Oh, okay. And they decided to come here to America, and I guess I came along for the ride.
So you you came here when you were very young. So you
yes.
Never, okay.
Yeah.
So Cantonese, Russian, you speak?
I speak a bit of Cantonese and a bit of Russian.
How? Where did you learn that?
Russian I learned here in school. I went to LACC and I learned a bit of Russian, but Cantonese I picked up in New Jersey. When we were in New Jersey, my family had a family that came to live with them from Hong Kong. So while I was teaching them English, they were teaching me Chinese, and that's how I picked that up. Yeah, and it really served me well because I was interested in the martial arts, still am, and because of my knowledge of the language, I was able to kind of get more involved in the martial arts than I normally would have.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So you went into the Air Force? How was that?
Okay, well, that's a crazy story. What would a kid from New Jersey, how could a young person from New Jersey get involved in the film industry? So here I am in New Jersey, and I know I want to get to Hollywood and do films and everything else, but how am I going to get there? Well, I decided that if I joined the Air Force, crazy scheme, but it worked, listen to this one. If I joined the Air Force, I can travel all over the world. And that's what I did. I joined the Air Force for 4 years, and I planned it out, and I made all my contacts so that at the end of 4 years, I got out and immediately got into my first film, got my Screen Actors Guild card, the whole 9 yards. And who was the first person I worked with in the movies?
Jackie Chan.
Jackie Chan.
Wow.
So, crazy scheme, but sometimes you have to be a little crazy to make things work. Jackie Chan was not even known here in the United States. That's Jackie Chan's first American film. I had the privilege, though, of seeing Jackie Chan while I was overseas in Okinawa, Japan. So I kind of knew a little bit about him, but I was a little skeptical because, I came up in the Bruce Lee era, and I kind of wanted to be like Bruce, right?
Of course.
When I saw Jackie Chan doing comedy, it's like, okay, that's cool, but I don't think it's going to sell. So everybody was a little skeptical. Robert Klaus was my mentor. And I learned from the best because he worked with Bruce and now I work with Jackie, and now I'm working with him. So he was a friend of mine, and that's how I got involved in the film business, and he kind of mentored me forward from that point on.
After that, you went into doing more art. How did you fall into art?
Okay, you're a creative person as well. You work on stage and you kind of know sometimes it's a feast or famine, you know? So what do you do in those off days? What do you do in the time that you're not working, you're not on stage, you need something else to fall back on? And it just so happened that I had skill in art, but this was a time that I wasn't thinking of it as a business. So here I am, in the basement here, creating little stuff, but I'm good. And somehow, again, being in the right place at the right time, the very first bronze statue that I ever did is of Michael Jackson.
Oh, yes.
You can't get any bigger than that, right?
You can't.
So I've been blessed. I've been blessed. From Jackie Chan to Michael Jackson, I've always been at the top of my game right off the bat. So
I like this portrait. We have African American, a strong African American woman.
Yes.
We have a African man.
Yes.
And we have the Caribbean people holding it down
Yeah,
in the
right
middle.
in the center, huh? Yeah.